Hey, Hatchers! Welcome back for Chapter 17 of the Westing game. So, this chapter is called Some Solutions. Let's get started. Monday was a gray, rainy day. Depressing. So was the stock market, which fell another 6 points. Turtle was jittery. All the heirs were jittery. The bomb squad was called in several times to examine suspicious parcels. One turned out to be a sealed vacuum cleaner bag full of dust that Crow had set behind the incinerator door. Another was a box delivered to Mrs. Wexler. In it were bonbons, her favorite, and a note, "Love and kisses, Jake. Bonbons are like a dessert." What do you mean? How come? Can't I send candy to my wife without getting the third degree? I thought you were looking on the thin side, okay? Grace made him eat the first piece. Does she think he poisoned her? The next day, Grace received a larger box. In it, the bomb squad found 12 long-stemmed roses and a note. For no reason at all, just love, Jake. The bomb squad was called again when Turtle ran after her partner through the lobby shouting, "Mrs. Boombach! Mrs. Boombach!" Someone thought she had shouted bomb, bomb. A hollow wind wailed through damp Tuesday. In the morning, the stock market rose 3 points. "Bullish," said Mrs. Boombach. In the afternoon, the market dropped 5 points. "Bearish," said Flora Boombach. Those were the only two trading terms she had learned. Madame Hu, a quicker student than the dressmaker, had learned more words. Partner, money, house, tree, road, pots, pans, okay, football, good, rain, spare ribs. Her teacher, Jake Wexler, visited her in the kitchen before he sat down to his daily lunch in the Chinese restaurant. Hopefully you guys can still hear me, there's a plane. Her teacher, Jake Wexler, visited her in the kitchen before he sat down to his daily lunch in the Chinese restaurant. Today, his wife and Jimmy Hu agreed to eat with their only customer on the promise that he would help them with their clues and not take a share of the inheritance if they won. Grace laid their 5 words on the table. "These are clues?" Jake looked down on purple waves for fruited sea. He switched 2 squares of Westing's super strength towels. Purple fruited makes more sense. How about grapes or plums? Grace was about to insist on purple waves, but plums reminded her of something. "Plum," she said aloud. "Plum. Wasn't the lawyer's name Plum?" "You're right, Grace," Mr. Hu said excitedly. "You're absolutely right." He tore one of the clues in two. Fruit. He tore fruited to make fruit and Ed. Ed, purple fruit. Ed, plum. "Ooh, could we finally have something?" We got it. We got it," Grace cried, leaping up to embrace her partner. "I never did trust lawyers." Mr. Hu shouted gleefully. "What about the other clues? For sea waves?" Jake asked, but the happy hugging and dancing and celebrating pair did not hear him. "Boom!" said Madame Hu, placing a plate of spare ribs on the table. That word she had learned from Otis Amber. Sandy was proud of the notebook he bought, with its glossy cover photograph of a bald eagle in flight. "Sort of appropriate," he explained to the judge. "Fits in with Uncle Sam and all that." In it, he painstakingly entered the information, culled from reports the private detective delivered each day to Judge Ford's house. Photographs of birth certificates, death notices, marriage licenses, driver's licenses, vehicular accident reports, criminal records, hospital records, school records. To these, the doorman added the results of his own snooping. "My investigator is having a difficult time getting into the not-so-public records of Westingtown," the judge said. "We'll have to put the Westing aside and begin with the heirs." "Since we're feasting on chicken with water chestnuts," Sandy said, "I'll start off with the Who's." Doug had delivered down. He read aloud from his entry. Hu. James Shen Hu, born James Hu in Chicago, age 50. Added Shen to his name when he went into the restaurant business, because it sounded more Chinese. First wife died of cancer 5 years ago. Married again last year. Has one son, Douglas. Son Lin Hu, age 28, born in China. Immigrated from Hong Kong 2 years ago. Gossip. James Hu married her for her 100-year-old sauce. Douglas Hu, called Doug, age 18. High school track star, is competing in Saturday's track meet against college milers. Westing Connection. Who sued Sam Westing over the invention of the disposable paper diaper. Case never came to court. Westing disappeared. Settled with the company last year for $25,000. Thinks he was cheated. Last invention, paper innersoles. I can take some credit for those paper innersoles, Sandy bragged. My feet were killing me, standing at the door all day, so I said to Jimmy, if only somebody would invent a good innersole that didn't take up so much room like those foam rubber things. So he invented a little piece of paper or fabric that would go in your shoe to make it more comfortable. And sure enough, he did. They're great. I got a pair in my shoes now. Want to see? No, thank you. The judge was eating. It was past midnight when Theo finished his homework in the dim light of the study lamp. The wind was still howling, and something, a word, a phrase, was still eluding him. He had been studying solutions in chemistry. Solutions, that was it. The solution is simple, the will said. He was sure of it. By changing 4 and the to the numbers 4 and 3, Theo was able to arrange the clues into a formula. Whether or not it was a chemical solution, let alone the Westing solution, was another matter. But 4 clue letters were left out of the solution, so he made a chemical solution. In chemistry, letters and numbers make up what's called a solution, a chemical solution, and so he found the name of a certain chemical. But 4 clue letters were left out. Isto, Osit, Itso, Otis. Otis. He had it. A formula for an explosive and the name of the murderer. He had to tell Doug. Where's going? Shh. Theo smoothed the blanket over his sleepy brother in the next bed, struggled into his bathrobe, and stumbled over the wheelchair as he tiptoed out of the room. The elevator made too much noise. Use the stairs. The cement was cold. He had forgotten his slippers. 2 unmarked doors. Which one? Tap, tap, tap. A grunting voice, dragging footsteps. Please let it be Doug, not Mr. Who or Judge Ford. It was Crow. Clutching a robe about her gaunt frame, her unknotted hair hanging long and limp, she tried to focus her dulled eyes on the shocked face of her visitor. Theo! Theo! The wind! I heard the wind. I knew you would come. Me? Grasping his hand, she pulled him into the maid's apartment between 4C and 4D and shut the door. Theo found himself sitting next to her on the bare floor, next to Crow. She must be dreaming. That is the end of chapter 17. It kind of left us off on the end there. I wonder hopefully we're going to figure out what happened with Theo and Crow next time in that apartment. Hopefully she gives him some more clues, because I'm ready to find more out, figure out who this murderer is. We'll be back at it with chapter 18 tomorrow. See you guys.